Hi everyone, it's that time again when you might be starting to think about your year end. The year end process itself is straightforward. It's a simple wizard that includes a few options. However, before this, there's the preparation stage, ensuring you've posted everything, and of course, it involves running reports. But do you understand your reports and also the opportunities that you have to develop them? Ensuring they're accurate, but also that they provide you with a correct level of detail. Throughout January and February, we're running a series of live webinars to help develop your knowledge and understanding of the management reports available in Sage 50 accounts. We'll be starting with the basics, understanding nominal records and the structure of the nominal ledger. This is also ideal if you need to create new nominal codes. Following on from this, we'll examine the chart of accounts, looking at all aspects, including adding new layouts and editing existing ones. Our attention then turns to the management reports themselves, the trial balance, the profit and loss, and of course the balance sheet. We'll explain how to run them, what they show, and most importantly, how the figures calculate. We want you to be confident. On the management report session, one of the most common scenarios we're asked about is where you haven't yet run your year end, but need to generate a profit and loss report for your next financial year. We've got your back with this and have a specific webinar that explores the options you have available, whether it's running reports for your new financial year or even a previous one. The last webinar in the series looks at reconciling your age debtors and age creditor reports at year end, ensuring that the balances agree with the figures on your trial balance and the balance sheet. Of course, this could be done at any time, such as part of your month-end process. So come along and we'll demonstrate what to check and how to run them to ensure everything agrees. If you'd like to attend any or all of these sessions to help develop your knowledge and boost your confidence, then simply head along to sage.co.uk/webinars and register for your free place. These, along with loads of other topics, including how to run your year end, are available. See you soon.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome along to today's webinar. We're looking at Sage 50 accounts today and what's new in version 33. So we'll be going through the various features that you've got available. Not a lot has changed, but some of them will just be bringing certain services to your attention. I'm Michael. You would have seen me in that little video there that we played at the beginning. I'm going to be your host for this morning's session. Now, just before we get stuck in, we'll run you through a little bit of housekeeping. So you don't need a microphone for these sessions. If you have one, you will find you're muted automatically. You can't unmute yourself during this morning's session, which means if you do have any questions for us along the way, you'll need to pop them into the questions panel. To access that, just click the little speech bubble, which is on your toolbar down the right-hand side of your screen. It'll then expand the panel and you have access to that box in the bottom right-hand corner where you can enter any comments or questions for me. Remember to click send, otherwise I won't see those. And as you submit them, we will just try and react to them as we go through. There is an opportunity to download a copy of today's slides as well if you are interested. However, the session is being recorded, and a link to the recording, just in case you need a little bit of a recap on what we covered today, that link will be included on your follow-up email. The follow-up email will also include the link to our webinar registration page, which currently the sessions are bookable up to the end of February. Some good sessions in there, some sort of webinar series on running your year end and clearing records and what's involved in all of those tasks. If you were with us right at the beginning there, I've run you through the management report sessions, and there's other sessions there as well, such as running your VAT return. So loads of sessions to get yourself registered for if you are interested. There's also a link to our recordings page, so do watch out for that email and do get yourself registered if you are interested in attending any of those. Back to version 33 though, this is what we're covering in this morning's session. So a quick update on installation and upgrading your software. We'll then get stuck into what's new. So what changes can you expect to see? Some services that you don't necessarily need to be on version 33 for, but you will have access to them, and it's one of those that's almost like in case they've gone under the radar, we just want to bring them to your attention. give you an example of what's coming soon, and also how you can get involved as well. So if you are using your software and you think, oh, I wish you could do this, or what about that type of option? I'll show you how you can get involved in that. Something we always like to promote on the webinars when we talk about new versions and enhancements in the software. Even if something has changed, what do you like, don't like, let us know. And then right at the end, we'll explain more about the additional supports and also pick up on any questions that may be outstanding as well. Now, as far as installation and upgrading your software is concerned, probably the most common question, when will I actually get version 33? You might not have been informed about that yet. Or maybe you have because that's why you're here today. That's the first you've heard of version 33, but it is available. We tend to do what we term a staggered rollout these days for updates. So it means that not everyone gets it at exactly the same time. You'll probably be aware that installation sometimes can take quite a while. So if anyone comes across an installation issue, whether that's caused by antivirus, hardware issues, network, just maybe a lack of understanding, those types of queries when you contact our support team can be quite lengthy. So we do that staggered rollout so that not everyone's installing at the same time. But if you do want it, you can get that by heading along to our help center, or just visit sage.co.uk/install. So it's got all the information, including download links and all the information you need to either install it or get your software updated. That's where you'll find it. I'm not going to run through the installation today. It's just a bit of an admin task, that one. And it varies so much depending on whether you're single user, multi-user, what version you're coming from and going to, but also things like if you use remote data access. So it can vary massively. So again, refer to the information in our help centre if you want advice on that. Now, some of you may have, you may be aware of Copilot. Some of you may actually be using it. It's been around since version 31.1. A number of features were introduced. Lots of people still starting to adopt Copilot. But with version 33, we've introduced the ability to try Copilot. So it means that if you're the manager or the admin user, you can, as you're going into Sage 50 accounts, if you aren't yet using it, it'll prompt you. Do you want to try it? So you can try it for the duration of your session. It means you can have a go without making any other changes. Copilot so far, if you want to go live with that, it means that everyone needs to then have what we term a Sage ID, so that they can then log into the software. It'll prompt them for an email address and password so that they can then log in. So with the Try Copilot, Sage Copilot option, it means that you can try that without making any changes. Now we do have a webinar. I've included a link on the slides. If you do download those, it'll take you to our registration page. You can get signed up for that one. Just to quickly show you what that's going to look like though. If I share my screen, and I'll just close out of Sage 50 for the time being. Open it back up. Obviously, you might have if you've got multi-company as well, you might have a mix of some companies that are Copilot is enabled and some that aren't. So I'll just pop into this company. My company 3. Just quickly log in. See if I can type manager correctly. You think I'll be able to type that by now. So we'll click log on. And you're going to get this prompt. So it means that you can try Copilot there and then. And as I say, it'll enable Copilot for the duration of when you're logged in. So you'll have full functionality in there as well if you need it. You can, if you want to, you can say, oh, just remind me in 7 days, 14 days, or if you're just not interested at all, maybe you've already had a look at it and you think, well, actually, I don't want to use that. You can choose the option, don't show again. If I just close out of that for the time being, and as it opens the software, if you are logged in as a manager into CH50 Accounts version 33, you'll also get the prompt along the top here, so you can activate it should you need to. But if you want to try it, it's that message on the way into the software itself. If you've never used it before, Copilot, or maybe you've not really heard about it before, then there are things like Copilot Insights available within customers, suppliers, within your nominal codes area, your transactions list, and also your products and services. And what the insights are is it provides you with like top level information. So for customers, for instance, it would give you a list of outstanding invoices and whether they're due or overdue. For the products and services, it's going to give you a list of products that are out of stock or low on stock, or it's estimated it will be out of stock very, very soon based on your daily sales, and do you have enough stock to support that over the next 30 days or not. Within transactions, it'll try and find anomalies within your transactions, so potential processing errors. So have you specified the wrong nominal code? It'll look at your historic data and it will compare those transactions. So if you haven't yet looked at Copilot, either attend the webinar or check out the information in our help center, or even better, when you're on version 33, give it a try. Right, let's pop back to the slides. Next change you may be aware of, and you're probably not likely to come across this very often, where you need to update the manager's email address. Now, I'm not actually going to demonstrate this one because there's a few different scenarios as to what that would look like. But historically, if you had the manager log on, it had an email address attached to it. If you needed to change that, and let's face it, there could be a number of reasons why you might need to do that. That the user that was logged in as manager, their email address is no longer valid, they've left the business. Maybe the users, for whatever reason, has changed their email address. Or maybe the wrong email address was used in the first place to connect the company to the cloud. Now, historically, to update that email address attached to the manager logon, very disruptive, time-consuming for the business as well. And it meant that if you had any connected services, such as bank feeds, remote data access, Sage Connect, anything of that nature, anything that's connected, classed as a connected service, it means that had to be taken down temporarily. The email address would then be changed and then they would be reconnected. And it means that you can now get around that a lot quicker. So it's a lot less disruptive. You don't need to take those options down. Might be that you still want to contact our support team to guide you through that, but it is a lot quicker, that process, should you need to do that. And that's being brought in just because we are aware of that disruption. So it wasn't never a nice position to be in, that one, if you needed to change that email address. So a lot simpler and quicker these days. Now, do any of you use AI document capture? Something that's been around for a few versions now, AI document capture. It's introduced in Sage 50 Accounts version 31. And the idea of AI document capture, and it is one of these connected services, it supports the automation of your accounts payable process on the purchase side. Now, what you can do with AI document capture, and we've got a recorded webinar on this one. We do occasionally run it as a live session, but we've got a recording available. I don't think it's scheduled in as a live session at the moment. But AI document capture enables you to upload or email purchase documents to the AI document capture service. So it's something that's really easy to set up and configure as well. It's something that's included as part of your subscription. So you just need to be on version 31 or above. So you can email your purchase documents, so any purchase invoices or purchase credits can either be manually uploaded to the AI document capture service, or they can be emailed to that service. And what it will do, it will read that information for you, and it would present that information for you. And assuming everything's right and it's been able to read it, you can then just say, yeah, post that into my accounts for me. So at times it can be a big time saver. If you're just doing single line invoices, you're not going to get a great deal of time saving out of that one. But if your invoices are 10 lines, 50 lines, possibly even more, then it can be a massive time saver. That save you having to key that information in. It will just read that information from the invoice itself, or the credit note for that matter. Now, when we demonstrated this AI document capture prior to version 33, the most common bit of feedback we would receive on that is that, well, why does the invoice that I've uploaded, or the credit note, why does it not automatically attach to the document, to the actual transaction itself? You can do it manually, and it's a quick process, but why does it not do it automatically? And this is the big change in version 33 for AI document capture. It will automatically attach that for you. So again, saving you time. And it means that when you're viewing things like the activity within the supplier account, or just the transactions within the transactions list, you can easily access that copy. So whether that's probably most likely, it's going to be a PDF document. So you can just click the link attached to that transaction and it will display that. So if you are looking at your activity, you're on the phone to your supplier, for instance, and you're querying something and you're just looking at the activity, you don't need to go and dig out your paperwork for that invoice. You're just clicking a link, because a copy of that invoice or credit note is attached to the transaction itself. And it means you can get at that, again, saving you time. So getting away from, almost like pulling your invoices out your filing system and then letting them pile up and then having to file them away now and again just to tidy up the office. It gets away from that. So if you're ever trying to achieve that sort of, I suppose, that paperless office, I'm not sure if that's a myth or not, the paperless office, but it will contribute towards that. So there's a little checkbox now where in your AI document capture settings, you just need to tick it to say, yeah, I want to attach the source documents. So really easy to do, saving you a little bit of time. So that was the main sort of developmental feedback we would always receive when we demonstrated AI document capture. So in relation to all that feedback, you've now got that, and it will do it automatically for you. Now, if anyone's based in the Republic of Ireland, there are a few new tax codes that have been added. So refinements to existing tax codes to T20, T23 and T24, but also new tax codes are being created. So when you do upgrade to version 33, you will find them on your list. And assuming these tax codes, so T51 and T52, aren't already in use within your software, it will then add them in for you, and it will use those numbers. If they are in use, it will just look for the next available numbers. If you're based in the UK and you're thinking T51 and 52, there are a lot more tax codes in use in Ireland than in the UK. You always look at the UK list these days and think, oh, there's a lot more than when I started at Sage. You used to use sort of T0 to T9, and some of those weren't even in use when I started. These days there's a lot more, but in Ireland there are loads of them. So just going on to T51 and T52. The RTD form itself is also being updated. Now, if anyone is based in sort of Ireland, I suppose, and you produce, maybe you've got multiple companies, what you're now going to have the ability to do is, and I'll just set the scene a little bit for this one. You'll be very familiar with it if you are in Ireland and you have a multi-company license and you have a UK company and an Irish company. Now, traditionally, what you would find historically is that you would need to change your regional settings before you went into that company. So if you were going to access your Irish company, you would go and change your Windows regional settings to Ireland before you accessed it. Similar, if you went back to your UK company, you would switch your Windows regional settings back before you access that. And quite commonly you find for accountants in that sort of position, you'd sometimes split that between PCs. So you'd have one PC with your Irish businesses on and one PC for your UK businesses. Now, to get round this, Sage 50 no longer looks at your Windows regional options for that. Instead, it will just look at essentially the country, I'm going to say the company code, the country code within the software itself. So if you go into a UK company, that's fine. It will pick up your UK settings. If it's an Irish company, it will pick up the Irish settings. Now, principally, the only differences really were in the really for the VAT area and potentially the currency settings as well. So no longer any need to switch those regional settings or install on different computers. You just have the same, all of your companies on one PC that you access it from, and you just off you go. So great change, that one. A long time in coming, that one, if you are in that position. Hopefully that will save you quite a bit of a headache, that one. Something else that you'll see as well. This is only recently relatively being introduced. This one, so your new Sage Assistant. So the new Sage Assistant can access that at any time. You get this black box when you access the help at the bottom, so the chat now option. So we'll use AI. It's available 24/7, just to help keep you moving, providing you with relevant answers. Obviously, it will learn from itself as well. And again, to access that, all you would need to do is you just click F1 when you're working in your software, or you can click the help icon at the top of any screen. So let me just quickly share my screen. We'll pop into customers. Doesn't really matter which one it is. Got no transaction, nothing in there. Have I got anything anywhere else? I'll go into a company that's got some data in. Let's see if we can find one. Helps if you choose the right option. So we'll just use that one at the top there, version 33. See, where's my log on there? It's just coming up there. So we'll log in. Pop in my passwords. Right, so that's me in. So let's pop into customers just as an example. Doesn't really matter what screen I'm in. So just about anywhere within your software these days, you'll have this help option at the top. And as normal, if you just press F1 as well on your keyboard, it will launch the context sensitive help for whatever you're looking at. Now, initially I've got mine maximized there, but you'll probably find that you get this sort of panel look down the side. Now I've got my resolution set really low here just to make things a little bit bigger so that you can see them a little bit clearer. So this is the Sage Assistant. So if I just click chat now, and just in case of you popping in a question, let's do a topic close to my heart there. So when is the next webinar for Sage 50 accounts? So it's coming back with what it thinks the resources that you'd be after. So if we click into webinars, and then it's obviously providing me a link with the relevant one I'm after. So you can get to that really, really quickly. Obviously, it relies on your feedback to help as well. So Is there anything else I can help with? I'll just click no, and that's the end of that. I can close it down. So Sage Assistant, give it a go. Should be in your software anyway now. It's not reliant on version 33, that one. Fairly new. So have a try of that next time. Before you think, I'm going to pick up the phone, I'm going to contact Sage, give it a go. Just press F1 on your keyboard and pop in your query. See if you get the right answer. Another service that you may or may not have been aware of. Again, this has been around for, I think it was about August time when this was released of last year. And it's the Smart Funding and Savings Hub. You'll be able to access this from a link from within your software, from the home page. And the idea is that you will get simplified access to a network of vetted partners, which will offer tailored funding and saving solutions. It just helps your business evolve and grow. So that's an area that you are interested in or researching at the moment. Again, do check that out. I've included a link to explore the hub, but again, within your software, if I just quickly pop back, we get back to the main screen, into the home page, and you've got your panel here to access the hub. So if I just explore the hub, then you can obviously choose the options that you are interested in. So if it was business funding, I'm after various bits of information in there as well. Again, check that out if that's something that's of interest to you. Now that's what you'll have access to currently. So what's coming soon? What's next? What's on the horizon as far as Sage 50 is concerned? Sage Expenses. Very soon, you will have access to an all-in-one expense management solution. So people will be able to submit their expenses via a mobile app. And that might be daily expenses, it might be mileage per diem, or I suppose what you would term your daily rates. And it's all fully integrated with Sage 50 accounts as well. And obviously that would include an authorization step as well. So nothing concrete that I can show you just yet, but expect to start hearing about this very, very soon. And now hot off the press as well, we're able to tell you now that a full cloud version of Sage 50 accounts will be available. We think probably within the next 2 to 3 months, you'll start hearing about that. So again, watch this space. If you're thinking, oh, Sage desktop based at the moment, we're starting to look maybe towards a full cloud solution, hold that thought. As I say, you are going to start to hear more about this, having exactly what you've got now, but in the cloud. So it means that no more installations, updates, that will just be done automatically for you. You'll access Sage 50 accounts via a web browser. So as I say, you'll hear more about that probably in about 2 to 3 months' time. So watch this space for that one. That's hot off the press, that one. Now, is there anything you want to see going forward for your software? Get involved. Use our roadmap. Submit your ideas. Something I always like to promote this. You can have your say. You can submit ideas. You can view the ideas that other people have submitted. You can vote on those as well. You just read it and think, actually, that's a really good idea. I never thought of that, but I'll put my weight behind it and I'll vote for it as well. Really easy to access that from within your software. I'll show you. So within Sage, again, if you go to your home page, you'll have a page similar to this. Might be different depending which version you're on. But if you just scroll down that, in the bottom left, you'll have that roadmap option. Now, this is where you can catch up. If you're maybe a few versions behind, or you think, well, actually, have I missed anything? View the timeline. So have a look at what's being delivered feature-wise. We'll link off to other additional help, etc. as well. So make sure your knowledge is up to date. We often get asked loads of questions about, well, I'm waiting for this feature, and actually, you've just missed it. That feature's been around for a few versions now. So do check that out. But this is where you can have your say. You can submit your ideas. You can see what others have submitted. You can vote on those as well. So just a case of add a new idea and pop it in. Someone suggested, I never hide nothing when I come to this page. Suggestion there, CH50 needs to be better at handling negative stock. The ability to load opening balances into the project module. Quotation histories. Multiple purchase orders on one supplier invoice. You can have a look at those. You can just drill into it and see exactly what the detail is. Have a look through. If you can't find what you're after, or maybe you can't find your suggestion, get it added. The only bad idea is the one that you don't suggest. So get it added to that board. If we don't know, we can't then fix that for you. Right, now, does anyone have any questions for me at all? Just while I'm giving you a chance to pop your questions in, I'll play a little video at the beginning. I'm going to play it again. Just tell you a little bit about some of our upcoming sessions that we've got booked in. So some of you weren't logged in at the time. So I'll play that video again and I'll come back to you live in just a few minutes' time.
Hi everyone, it's that time again when you might be starting to think about your year end. The year end process itself is straightforward. It's a simple wizard that includes a few options. However, before this, there's the preparation stage, ensuring you've posted everything, and of course, it involves running reports. But do you understand your reports and also the opportunities that you have to develop them? Ensuring they're accurate, but also that they provide you with a correct level of detail. Throughout January and February, we're running a series of live webinars to help develop your knowledge and understanding of the management reports available in CH50 accounts. We'll be starting with the basics, understanding nominal records and the structure of the nominal ledger. This is also ideal if you need to create new nominal codes. Following on from this, we'll examine the chart of accounts, looking at all aspects, including adding new layouts and editing existing ones. Our attention then turns to the management reports themselves, the trial balance, the profit and loss, and of course the balance sheet. We'll explain how to run them, what they show, and most importantly, how the figures calculate. We want you to be confident. On the management report session, one of the most common scenarios we're asked about is where you haven't yet run your year end, but need to generate a profit and loss report for your next financial year. We've got your back with this and have a specific webinar that explores the options you have available, whether it's running reports for your new financial year or even a previous one. The last webinar in the series looks at reconciling your age debtors and age creditor reports at year end, ensuring that the balances agree with the figures on your trial balance and the balance sheet. Of course, this could be done at any time, such as part of your month-end process. So come along and we'll demonstrate what to check and how to run them to ensure everything agrees. If you'd like to attend any or all of these sessions to help develop your knowledge and boost your confidence, then simply head along to sage.co.uk/webinars and register for your free place. These, along with loads of other topics, including how to run your year end, are available. See you soon.
Okay, so back live with you now. So that was just a little promo video for the management report sessions. We've got a similar series of webinars coming up, which Laura will be running you through for year end. So things like making sure you've taking backups, making sure you understand company archives, the year end process itself. But once you've run your year end, it's a good opportunity to maybe then clear out older information. So information that you don't need to access and don't need to have available in your live company. So things like clearing your audit trail to remove older transactions, deleting records, getting rid of customers, suppliers, old nominal codes that you no longer use, maybe bank accounts that you no longer have, invoices, orders, quotations, product records. All of those you might choose to get rid of, and obviously the less data you have, the more efficient your software is going to run. So backups will be smaller, check data is going to be quicker, that type of thing. And just general use of the software, you should find it runs just that bit more efficiently. So if you are interested, as I say, head along to the webinar registration page. Links included on your follow-up email, and we hope to see you on some of them soon. Now, I don't have any questions this morning, nothing outstanding just at this stage. If you do think of anything afterwards, get in touch. You can reply to any of the webinar emails. They'll either come direct to myself or come to our team mailbox. If you need to specifically speak to someone, get in touch with our support team. So we'll end the webinar just at that point. There will be a little survey pop up as you leave today's session. If you can take a minute to complete that, it'd be greatly appreciated. Just a few questions. What you thought of the webinar? Are you going to use maybe will it help you use your software just a little bit more efficiently, that type of thing? And also, if you've got any thoughts going forward, what would you like to see covered? Pop it on there. As I say, it should take you about a minute max. The follow-up email will be with you in around about an hour's time, so watch out for that. It's got a copy of today's recording. It will include the registration page link and also our recordings. So if you are interested in any of the sessions, get yourself registered and hopefully we'll see you very soon. We'll end the webinar at that point. Many thanks. Have a great weekend and hopefully we'll see you early next week.